mouth and I must scream. This is kind of a weird science fiction horror dystopia game based on a book by Harlan Ellison. I'm just gonna get started. Can we get a countdown, please?
3, 2, 1, go!
All right, so we've got 5 characters. We're gonna play through 5 stories. This is the basis of this game is about a computer that is torturing these people endlessly, keeping them alive for more than 100 years, and making them do things. So we're gonna go through and most of this game is just executing story triggers, making sure that we can get to the next sequence in time, not bogging ourselves down too much with any of the story or plot. Alright, so Benny was a general in an army and he committed some war crimes, so he's trying to atone for those. And we'll see how he does with that. This is the any % category of this, which does not necessarily mean we have to get the good ending. In fact, most any % end up getting the bad ending for the game, of which there are several, but only one qualifies for any %, which is the blob ending. And we'll see why we call it that at the end of the run. There is another category for this game. It's called Lunar %, which is the good ending. And I recently got the world record in that one too, which is super cool. So there's a little bit of RNG involved in this run, and it's mostly around Benny's ability to pick up this bag. Second try Benny bag is pretty great. Best I've ever gotten is first try. Worst I've ever gotten is like 7 tries, something like that. You need to go at least 2 screens away in order to retry. Alright, so now we got a bag and we got a fruit, so we're gonna go talk to the gravestones of some people that we killed. And we're gonna tell them that we have a lottery bag, and that we're trying to atone for our sins by having a lottery bag. Come on. Oh, that was the wrong one. Sorry. Ding dong doodly doo. So we're gonna tell all of these people that we have the lottery bag. We're gonna bury it in the ground. And we got this 4th one. And now we're gonna plant this fruit on his grave and it turns into a beautiful flower, and apparently we're absolved of all of our crimes or whatever. So with that being done, we're just gonna have a nice nap. Okay, I'm gonna take one of these fruits again. Gonna go back here and I'm going to check out this video screen. It's gonna play a message. We go back here. And let's talk to this boy again. He's scared he's going to be sacrificed next, so we're going to... We're going to go and help him hide. So we got to find a few things. Bits of wire. I'm going to get him a little bit of wood. Nope, not the food baskets. Please take the wood. Thank you. And finally, his mother's decapitated head. Real secure, right? Okay, so we're going to present all these items to the dude. And he's going to go hide, and we're going to go to sleep again. That's enough work for one day, right? All right. So, back over here. This is actually pretty fast. Okay, and we gotta do that. And we get sacrificed instead, and that is the end of Benny's scenario. This is Benny's good ending, technically. Could have been better. We're gonna go with Ted next. I kind of forget the order I do this in now. Pretty sure I do Ted now. At any rate, Ted is a really rich person who financed a lot of stuff for the end of the world, so he's getting punished in a really weird way. And we're gonna skip a lot of his scenario. Ted, Gorister, and Nimdok, you can skip a lot, like a lot of their scenarios. The other two, you can't really skip much. So we're gonna read these books. Gonna read a little bit of this journal. If we were doing a full lunar percent run of this, we'd need to get all of the good endings for all of the characters, but we don't really care about that. We just want to advance the story a little bit. So Ellen is one of these other characters, and she plays a part in this scenario. She says that she needs a mirror to survive, so we're going to help her find a mirror. Alright, gonna go over here. Just gonna click on a few things to get rid of some story triggers. And talk to this maid. She says, "I'll give you a mirror if you have sex with me." And we say no. 4 times. She says, "Alright, well then fix my oven." So we fix her oven. Are you gonna give us a mirror now? No, she's not gonna give us a mirror at all. Alright, so we're done with that. We get this scene with an evil witch. So obviously we're going to go immediately after the evil witch, right? No, we're gonna go read some more books. And now we're going to go to the evil witch. So nobody would ever have guessed that there's a secret passageway in here that leads to a weird room where we talk to a witch. Alright, so we're going to use a spell that we read in that book. And we're going to knock her out. Take the chalk, use the chalk to finish the circle. Wow, that was a long walk you did there, Ted. So, we're going to give him a little bit of glass with our blood on it so he can get some strength. He's going to unlock that maid's door for us. And this is Wolves 1, if I did this right. Yep, Wolves 1. So, usually you'd have to complete this scenario, and you would have to do this little mini-game where you have to basically bar the door, or else the dogs will get in and kill you. We're not going to do that. We're just going to finish the scenario before we do that. Alright, so we saw a tapestry of the devil holding a hand mirror, so we go confront him about it. This is Wolves 2. Walk to the doorway, here we go. So, he says he's not going to tell us where it is, but we're sneaky and we know exactly where it is, so we get it. And here we go. We're just going to use the mirror with the devil. Devil is so enamored with himself that he gets trapped inside it. And a good ending for this scenario? Maybe not, but it's an ending for this scenario. We go outside and get eaten by wolves. And that's a positive ending, I guess, because the game continues. Alright, so we're going to do Ellen next. Ellen's is one of the ones that we can't really shave off much of her scenario. Gotta do basically the whole thing, which starts with us pushing a few of these, seeing that there's a secret passageway down there, actually. We're just going to use this wiring. Get it back together. Come on. Alright, we're gonna look at a few things. And go to the next screen. Here we're going to take... Some of these things are really tiny on the screen, and a big part of the quickness of doing this game in a speedrun is being able to hit all these really small hitboxes on screen. This game is played with a mouse. I'm going this way. And I do use a keyboard to advance dialogue and things like that. So that piece of yellow fabric we're going to use as a blindfold, so we can get past this Sphinx, apparently. Don't ask me how that works, but we'll take off the blindfold. Now, Ellen hasn't had a drink of water in 109 years, and we're not going to give her one, because we're going to use this cup of water to short-circuit this ancient Egyptian statue. Again, don't ask me how any of this works. But we're going to take this microchip out of it. Okay. We're going to use this again, and we're going to... There you go. Okay. All right. So now we're going to use the gem with the left workstation. We're going to use the ROM chip with the left workstation, and we're going to use the left workstation. All right. So let's put this ROM chip back in Anubis and talk to him. He tells us the access code for the keypad. And we're about halfway through Ellen's scenario right now. We go in the sarcophagus and, oh, it's a very sophisticated elevator. There's a whole big backstory about Ellen, but we're just gonna skip all of it. She's scared of this man in yellow, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna make her fight back. Hooray! Alright, just gonna examine this wiring here. And exiting this area. Going back here. And we learned something very important, which is the password to this computer, which is 2012. So we learn about a little bit of a schematic, and Ellen, being a mechanical engineer, knows everything about Egyptian hieroglyphics that there is to know. So, you know, there's that. Okay. We're just going to take this speaker that was beforehand unavailable to us and go back downstairs. Backtrack all the way back to that new room we unlocked. Use the speaker with the wiring. And what's going to pop up? A giant head. We ask him the bare minimum amount of things that we need to ask him in order to advance the scenario, and then we leave. Okay. So, we've got this CD now, which we're going to insert into this center workstation. We're going to use... And it says we're going to activate the Chaos Trebler. We have no idea what it does, but we activate it anyway. Oh look, it sealed us in. Okay. Let's go back and talk to our only friend, Anubis. He says, get in the sarcophagus. So, let's get in the sarcophagus. And that's the end of Ellen's scenario. I'm not kidding. That's the end of Ellen's scenario. That's how it's supposed to end too. That's not me glitching out this game or anything. There is some shortcuts in this game, but that is not one of them. All right, so this is Gorister. Gorister's is quite long, but we can shorten it a little bit. We're just gonna pick up a few supplies first. We're gonna take this weird sheet. We're gonna go to this door and take an identical sheet. And then we're gonna go over here. Now Gorister hasn't eaten in 109 years, so if I don't advance the text when crossing into this screen, he's gonna repeatedly say that his stomach is growling, so it gets kind of annoying. You know, grow up, man. So we've got a knife, we've got a fork. Over here is some moldy bread that we could eat, but it's too slow. Alright. So we go over here. Gonna take this weird milky fluid. We're gonna put a fork in this engine. And we're gonna go up these stairs. We see some balloons, maybe like we're in a hot air balloon or something. So we're gonna cut a hole in the side of it. And here's the first puzzle of the game. Alright, so some weird symbolism here, but Gorister's heart was at the spike there. So, now what we need to do is cut a hole in 2 of these balloons. No more, no less. And the Zeppelin will land safely at our destination, which is actually canonically called Gorister's Honky Tonk. So, we're gonna go into the honky tonk here. We've got a jukebox. We're gonna play the jukebox twice. Gonna take this bottle of alcohol. Alright. There's a shovel hidden back here, so we're going to take that. And then we're going to talk to this jackal. He says, give me your heart. We say, I'm not going to give you my heart, and then we give him our heart. Alright, so let's let's talk to Harry. Harry has a little bit of RNG in him. He will either take 2 or 3 drinks before he'll refuse to answer your questions. And then you need to keep feeding him drinks. It doesn't really affect that much, except when you get a double 2. Okay, that's good. Alright, so here we're going to take the magnifying glass that's at the bottom of this urinal for some reason. This whole game, I can't make heads or tails of it. So let's go back over here. Here, Gorister. Use this magnifier with this debris. Find out a little bit what happened here. What did happen here? Obviously, our mother-in-law killed us. So, yeah.
What?
Alright. So, now to continue the game, we have to use the bathroom. You can see why this game was put in meme block. It just makes no sense. Not just twice, 3 times. Trust me. Here we go. We got teleported into a meat locker. So we're going to talk to Edna, who is our mother-in-law. We're going to try to take her down from the meat hook, and she rebels against us. We're gonna say we don't trust her. She drops a key. Alright. So let's take Edna's key. Yeah, just... There is a better ending, but I don't need to get it for any %. So let's go over here now. Alright, so now let's look at this logbook, and we're going to look specifically at the second entry to this logbook. This makes Gorister very happy. Now let's backtrack all the way out. Yeah, your stomach's growling. I get it. Alright, so now we've only got a couple more things to do in Gorister's scenario. I'm going to go to the bathroom one more time. Okay. We're going to give this milky fluid to Glynis, and then we're going to talk to Glynis. Going to take her down from this meat hook and put her into our inventory. Yep. Alright. So now there's kind of a glitch here. We're going to use Glynis's body with this grave. We're going to skip the animation and just walk off into the distance. And that's the end of Gorister's scenario. Nimdok's scenario is the shortest out of any of them. It has a lot to do, but you can finish it in a good 2 minutes or so. All you need to go through is twice around this building. After this, there is an end game scenario as well, so it's not quite the end of the game. So we'll look at this poster. We'll completely bypass this scene. We're going to push on this vent. It's a secret passageway. We're going to completely bypass all of this really dark, horrible imagery. We're going to take some pliers and we're going to use the door. That's the first time through. Give the pliers to the prisoner, please. Alright, one more time through. Oh, I do need to take this ether. Use the ether with the patient. See if I can get this grab on the first try. It's a very small point on screen. Come on. No. There we go. So we just took his jar of eyeballs. I'm gonna look at this little child. He's going to give us some reassuring news. And now we go out here and talk to that prisoner. Oh look, our jar of eyeballs. Yep, so he's gonna let us go. We see, yeah, those are faces screaming in the wall. But we're gonna ignore that for a second. We see a golem, we see a laboratory, but we're not going to do any of that. We're just going to take this mirror at the bottom of that vat of fluid, going to look into the mirror, and have a stunning revelation about ourselves. But all we're going to do is just use this wall, go through the wall, and that's the end of his scenario. So this is the end game scenario now, and time will be coming up in about a minute here, so get ready. So we're going to extend the bridge. I'm going to log off here. We're going to use summoning with... please, game. Oh my goodness. Use summoning with the circle. We got that demon from before, so we're going to talk to him a little bit. Oh look, there's some humans on the moon. So we're going to invoke 2 totems here. He's going to summon his 2 friends, and they're all going to kill us. And... once we see the blob. Time. Yeah, so that's any percent. I have the world record in any percent and in lunar percent now, but this game is super fun and super memey, and if you have a dark sense of humor like me, you will definitely enjoy this game. Shout out to the other runner of this game, Myriad Truths. And yeah, I guess that's about it for me. We'll just wait until... there you go. Thank you very much, guys.